take it. The violent take it by force. It says this, that I sat with my friend that I left hanging for several minutes. And he was a pastor, and he said, nobody gets saved in my church. We don't have revival. I've tried, and I've tried. Why, Mario, do I not have revival? I couldn't believe what I said to him. He said, because, I said, because you can live without it. You see, it's not something that's going to kill you if you don't get it. And when the Bible says the violent is talking about somebody that decided, you know what, I really can't live without it. And I'm going to introduce you to a new word. Hopefully Sean Smith, who got it from me, didn't pass it on to you. It is the word conation. How many ever heard that word before? It's one of the 100 rarest words in the English language. It speaks of a moment in a person's mind where they reach the point where they are not going to change their mind or be stopped. They conate. This is conation. I am going to see this in my life, and that's it. There's no plan B for me. There's no backing down. I'm not going to change the subject. I'm not going to change my mind. I've reached that level. We've got to quit blaming God for being reluctant to bless us when we know that there are things we can live without. Let me tell you something. In the darkest moment of my life was when my wife and I ended up divorced. And the story of how that happened was a tragedy. Neither one of us were immoral, but Satan came and actually used Christians to help tear us apart. And it was that we were an overnight success. And Michelle and I spent 14 years apart. I went on with the ministry. She went on with her life. I got to the end of myself. Even though there was still success, I was empty and broken and limited in my life. And one day, I got desperate before God. I got desperate before God. And I said to God, I will do anything if you'll bless my life. And the Lord said, anything? And I said, pretty much. The reason the lame don't walk, the blind don't see, and the altars don't overflow is the words pretty much. When I sat there and I said, no, whatever you tell me to do right now, I will do it. The Lord said, pray for Michelle. And he said, your wife, Michelle, 1 hour a day for a month. And I said, boy, that's just really going there, isn't it, Lord? You know, when you begin to pray for someone else, you start to see their side of the story. I just said something real deep right there. When you begin to intercede for someone, you start to see their side of the story. Well, through a remarkable set of circumstances, at that very moment, God, over in Mesquite, Nevada, did the exact same miracle for Michelle. And we ended up back together. Now, we've been back together almost 9 years. Now, somebody needs to shout a little bit right there. You don't have it because you can live without it. So you need to quit having a double mind and telling yourself that you want something and then whining about why you don't have it. Because the violent take it by force.